Hey everyone, my name is David Rao, and I'm the music teacher who blogs at makemomentsmatter.org. You can also find my ideas on Facebook, on Instagram, on Pinterest, Twitter, and a variety of other places when you search for my name, David Rao, or Make Moments Matter. Today, I'm going to be sharing some of the things that I'm doing currently in my room, look ahead to some of the things that I'm going to be doing in my room. Because last week I shared about Thanksgiving books, and I was thinking, like, that doesn't really give you a lot of lead time if you want to go out and get those books or find them in the library. So I'm going to share a little bit about my favorite books for December, for Christmas, for Nutcracker, things like that. And then I'm also going to share about some of the K-2 lessons I'm doing right now for Thanksgiving, and a couple of other things along the way. So if you hear me talk about books, links, anything you're interested in, I have a whole page on my blog dedicated to the stuff I talk about in these videos. So if you go to makemomentsmatter.org and click the drop down under videos, you should be able to find the Musical Mondays recap page for this year, this school year. Or if you're watching on wherever you're watching or listening on podcasts, probably at the bottom of the description, there's a direct link to that links page in case you're interested in any of the stuff that I mention. If you go to that links page and it's not there and you're like, what about the book of blah, 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 send me an email, makemomentsmatter@gmail.com, and I will send you the link to that thing. Because I know it's like you find some cool stuff and then how do you find it? So I have that whole page on my blog of links, things you could find. Also, one last thing on Facebook, if you're interested, there's a Facebook group called Every Moment Matters Music Education Community. Come join us. It's a fun conversation of people talking about music education. So come and join us, and you can learn some great things from really cool, smart people around the country who are just feeling things out like the rest of us, who have great resources. You never know what you're going to learn from another person, where they like, oh, there's this cool book or this cool instrument. There's some really awesome stuff and some great conversations happening there. Come join us. Okay, if you're a Nebraska music educator, I'm originally from Nebraska, so I love this. I'm going to be in Nebraska tomorrow night and Wednesday and Thursday, and I'm going to be doing the Nebraska Music Educators Conference. I'm so excited. I'm doing 4 sessions. It looks like 6 on the schedule because I'm doing 2 on Wednesday morning. I'm repeating those Wednesday evening for people who can't join us Wednesday morning. So if you're like, oh, I really want to go, but I can't be there, you can come to one of the evening sessions on Wednesday if you can't take off school, or join us Thursday for 2 more sessions. I'm really excited, so I hope I see many of you there. If you see me there, please come say hi. I'm not good at seeing people, especially when we're all masked. I'm not good at recognizing folks from a distance. So please come find me. I'll be the one wearing the ukulele on my back. One of many, probably. Also, one more thing. If you're looking for more PD and you're excited, but you can't come to Nebraska or you can't come to any of the other workshops around, I'm doing a workshop with Music Construct Ed. You can find links to that on the links page or my blog. That's an online sort of it's a place to get PD, a place to learn things, and they do different kinds of PD. They do smaller PDs, like a one-night thing. They are also getting ready to offer some things for graduate credit. There's some really cool stuff you can find there. But December 6th, which is a Monday night, after Musical Mondays are over for the semester, I'm doing one on children's literature. So I hope you will come and join us for that. It's going to be so much fun. There are details for that on the blog. Okay, so let's start talking about some books for the holidays, and not just for Christmas, but also for other things and for Nutcracker. So I wanted to share some of these things now, so that if you're interested, you can go find them later, or go find them and have them ready in time for when the time comes for them. Yeah, trying to figure out if I said that right. I want to show them to you now. I know it's not Christmas, but I wanted you to have a little bit of lead time in case you wanted to go locate those books, rent them from the library, get them from a used book website, yada, yada, yada. All the links are on the links page if you're interested. One of the cool things about Amazon, you don't have to buy from Amazon, but one of the cool things about Amazon is it has... I keep saying this, but I feel like it's like a Pinterest for stuff. Like you can go to a book's listing, and even if they don't currently sell the book, if the book is out of print or they just don't currently have copies, they will still have the listing there. And on that listing will be the book, the title, the author, the ISBN, the publisher's information, all of that. And so if you want, you can take that information from Amazon to like your local library database and search, and that's a great way to find some cool books. And also Amazon does link like, oh, you're looking at this book, have you considered this other one? Not always. So it's fun to have Amazon there to like sort of guide you to different things. But anyway, all these things are on Amazon. You don't have to buy them there. Once I'm done sharing these books, I'm going to share a couple of my favorite used book websites where you can get books for cheap. So this is not necessarily a Christmas book. It's sort of more like a winter book. It's called The Snowman Shuffle. And there are specific Christmas themed ones. There's another book series called there's another book by the same author called The Reindeer Dance. There's one called The Santa Shimmy. There's one called The Elf Boogie. These in previous years were sort of hard to find. I think they sold through the stock and then just didn't have them available. I haven't checked them recently, but I bet you could find them, if not on like Amazon, like a used book website. But it's great for movement for kindergarten through second, and this one is not. This is not specifically just Christmas, but it is holiday. So if we just go through a couple pages, it says, shuffle like a snowman, shuffle side to side. Shuffle forward, shuffle backward in a graceful slide. Rub your hands together, keep them nice and warm. Spin like a snowflake in a winter storm. This is just part of the way through the book. It's a board book, so you'd probably need a way to like make it bigger to show. You wouldn't want to say like, okay, everybody scoot together and look at this tiny, tiny, tiny little picture. You'd probably want to have it under like an overhead projector, a document camera or something like that. You could maybe even find a Kindle version or something that you could project up. But super cool. It has some really fun ideas for movement to get kids going. Swoosh like the wind on a winter day. Move like a tree branch. Sway, sway, sway. There's even a part where like they freeze like a snowman. Super cute, fun book to have. And it's not Christmas specific or holiday specific, so you could use it December, January, February. Some of us could use it like March, April, May, depending on our weather, but it's a really great book to have. Okay, I'm going to skip the Nutcracker ones for a moment. If you want a version of Frosty the Snowman, this one's my favorite. This is Frosty the Snowman. It says by Steve Nelson and Jack Rollins. Those are the original composers, I believe. But it's illustrated by Richard Caudry. This is my favorite one. I use it. I have a whole blog post on my blog about using this book with like critical things, strategies, and asking questions and getting kids to think about certain things, talking about the lyrics and stuff like that. So check that out if you're interested in that blog post. But it's just really wonderfully illustrated. It's also big. So if you don't have the opportunity to make it bigger under like a document camera, like it's pretty big. Kids could see it even from maybe the back of a classroom. So really like it. This is my favorite version of Frosty out there. There are many others, but that one's my favorite. It's a really great one. That one's by illustrated by Richard Caudry. Okay, I'm coming back to that one. Coming back to this one. Okay, my favorite 12 Days of Christmas book, if you're interested. This one is illustrated by Emma Randall. I love this one. There are so many, right? And actually on that Amazon like wish list page that I mentioned before, I have like a bunch of options listed if you want to look up like Christmas books, holiday books. But this is my favorite of all of them. I just think the illustrations are really beautiful, and it's like fun, kid friendly illustrations, not too full or cluttered or crazy. And one of the other things I love that I learned from a reading teacher is that like specific words are highlighted. So in red, on the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves. So identifying information for that specific verse that show how it's different than other verses are highlighted. So like that's really cool. Same thing here if I jump way ahead. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 ladies dancing. So like just super fun illustrations. It is cumulative, just like the song. Love that there are lots and lots of different skin tones, lots of different colors. Like it's so colorful, all the outfits and things. Like I said, it's just beautifully illustrated, super fun, not crazy or over the top. This is my favorite 12 Days of Christmas. If you use this song, if you use this book, it's a great, great version to have. Okay, if you do anything around Kwanzaa, or if you're interested in doing that, this book called 7 Spools of Thread, A Kwanzaa Story, is a great one to have. This is by Angela Shelf Medeiros, illustrated by Daniel Minter. And it goes through First of all, it talks a little bit about Kwanzaa, why you have Kwanzaa, how did it start. It has the 7 principles of Kwanzaa and how pronunciations, and then a little bit more about information about that, which is great. And then it goes through and tells the story. Again, I just love it because the illustrations, I think, are just like so amazing. Especially if you're like, I want to talk about Kwanzaa, or I have a song about Kwanzaa, or we're including it in our winter concert, but we don't have a lot of people who maybe celebrate it, or I want kids to know more about it. This is a cool book to include. Not crazy long, but it's a really fun book to have. This is one where I would maybe look because it might already be in your like school library. It's not Scholastic. It's published by Albert Whitman and Company. So a lot of times, like the Scholastic versions get into your library a little quicker, but it's a really fun book to have. Totally worth checking out from your library and deciding if you want to have it in your classroom library. Okay. This one is my favorite Hanukkah book. There are a lot of cool ones. I love, there's, there was an old lady who swallowed a dreidel. Love that one. Have that one. I don't know why I didn't bring that one home. These are not all my holiday books. These are just some of them. This one's super cool called The Hanukkah Hop. This is by Erica Silverman and Stephen D'Amico. And this one, I'll just read a couple of pages. Rachel's twirling streamers, Daddy blows up blue balloons. Mommy sizzles latkes as she hums a Hanukkah tune. Kitzel chases dreidels, Doodle sneaks a donut treat. Parrots bobbing to a jazzy bim-bom beat. Mommy shines menorahs, Daddy clears a space to dance. Rachel swirls with candles as she sings a bim-bom chant. And then I don't know if there's an actual song to go along with this, but I would always just do something like Biddy biddy bim bum bop, all whirl all night at our Hanukkah hop. I don't know, like I said, there's nothing like printed in here, and I haven't like found anything online. So if you know that there's like, oh David, there's a Hanukkah hop song and you're doing it wrong, please tell me, because if there is, I don't know it. Anyway, all these people come over. They come over from all different places. They light the candles. They sing songs. It gives a little bit of the history of Hanukkah as you're going through. It shows a bunch of the traditions, how to eat latkes, sour cream or applesauce or different things. Talks about jelly donuts. They talk about the dreidel. It's just a super cool book, and it's themed around like dance and singing, and it does give a good like taste of Hanukkah if you don't have any. Or even if you do have a concept of what that is. It's really fun and super kid-friendly. Also, again, I love the illustrations. I feel like I say that a lot, but like if you find good books that you think are wonderfully illustrated, like that's great. Okay, so that one was The Hanukkah Hop by Erica Silverman, illustrated by Stephen D'Amico. Okay, and then another one, this is another one that I really like that, again, talks about a non-Christmas December tradition. This is called Twas Noche Buena. It's in both English and Spanish. This is by Roseanne Greenfield Thong, illustrated by Sarah Palacios. And this one talks about Las Posadas. But it also follows like the rhyme scheme, the tradition of Twas the Night Before Christmas. So it goes, 'Twas Noche Buena, and all through our casa, every creature was kneading tamale masa. For one of our holiday tradiciones is making tamales, not one, but montones. And every last person, both chicas and chicos, is needed to make our tamales taste ricos. We stuff them with pollo, with queso and meat, and steam them in corn husks and leaves. What a treat. Okay, so if you're not comfortable throwing Spanish into just at things as you go, then read this through several times, because you'll get tripped up on the Spanish words if you're not ready for it, because they are just like, they're in italics, so you know they're coming, but like they are just woven in with the text. So if you're not comfortable just reading Spanish like bam like that, then read through it several times. But it does go through, and it has all of these words, and at the end it talks about the Spanish words. There's a glossary that explains what they are. And also, if you're like, I don't know how to pronounce that, it's a rhyming book, so it's probably they're going to rhyme in time with the other words, so you can sort of see some of those other things. So they go through, they prepare their house, they go down to the park, and they join the posadas, they go from door to door, they retell the story of Las Posadas, where they go from door to door looking for shelter, and they're denied, and then they finally find a place. They go inside, so they have their fiesta, they drink champorrado, they which is like a chocolatey drink. They have, they play marbles, they play games, they have a piñata outside, there are fireworks. It's just a really cool story. And again, it follows like 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, the rhyme scheme for that. So it's pretty easy to incorporate. And also, like, if you do 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, this is a really great book to compare with, to like compare that story with this one. And just, again, really fun, easy to use, easy to incorporate, but definitely something that you're going to want to like read through a couple times if you're not as comfortable with that right out of the bat. This was 'Twas Noche Buena, A Christmas Story in English and Spanish by Roseanne Greenfield Thong and illustrated by Sarah Palacios. Okay, and then one more, and then my Nutcracker books. Okay, this one I have never used. I've had it for forever. The Penguin Quartet by Peter Arrhenius, illustrated by Angela Peterson. The reason I brought it is, even though I've never used it, what I've learned is I can learn from so many other people. And I figure if it's in my classroom library, probably it's in many other people's classroom libraries. This is a Scholastic book. How do you use it? I don't know. It sure feels like it should be something I would use around this time of year. But I've like looked through it and I've been like, I don't know. Like, I mean, you could use it for maybe talking about, I don't know. I've not got like a great lesson or a great hook or a great thing that I'm like, this is how I want to use this book. Or here's the most natural. This feels so easy. So if you use the Penguin Quartet, please chime in or send me an email and say, oh my gosh, I learned about it at blah, 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 blah. Or I use it every year on December 7th because of blah, blah, I don't know, someone's birthday or, I don't know, December 14th. I was going to say 45th. December 14th. I don't know. How do you use this book? Because I'm sure many of you probably use it. Love to know how. Okay, and then a couple Nutcracker books, which are great. So, I like Nutcrackers if you've been on my blog or my Facebook at all. My favorite Nutcracker book, if we're going to talk about teaching the story, is this one. This is by Susan Jeffers. I just think the illustrations are really pretty. I like how it puts the story in context. I especially love this one because there are some really great like connections to the actual story and then also connections to ballet in general. So, like, for example, when they're going through, through the snowflake forest. So, like, it's not just like, oh, they're snowflakes. Like, they look like ballerinas in snowflake costumes, which is amazing. Because then if you teach the Nutcracker and you, like, show the ballet at all, then kids are primed to look for people in costumes. Like, they're ready for that. It sort of skimps on, like, the once they get to this land of sweets story, which is fine. But it does give a great overview of the book. It's really pretty. My only qualm with the book is that they use, I can never remember every year which one it is. There's like the Russian tradition or the German tradition, I can't remember which one, but like one calls the main character Clara and one calls her Marie, and this one calls her Marie, but I grew up and have always used the name Clara, so like every time I read it, I switch it to Clara. But somebody explained to me once, it's like as the Nutcracker developed, there was like one branch that went with the German ballet and one with the Moscow ballet or whatever, and one of them used Marie and one of them used Clara. I've always used Clara, so that's like my one qualm with the book, is that like they call her Marie. Anyway, whatever. But it's a great book, fun to have. If you're going to teach the Nutcracker, a couple other like not as common ones to have are this one, The Nutcracker in Harlem, which retells the story as if, again, I think this one calls her Marie. Yes, okay, another Marie. So it's like the same story as if it's a little girl who grows up in Harlem. So her parents are having a party, and then they ask her to sing. She like doesn't want to sing. They get gifts. She gets a little nutcracker. She loves it. She treasures it. Okay. Also, I love the sweet potato pie. Amazing. And then, so it's very, very similar to the actual book. She wakes up and things have changed and there are people dancing and there's a rat army. And anyway, so very, very similar. In this one, I don't think they go to the land of the sweets. That's the one big, big, big difference. Yeah, they don't in this book. But again, a super cool book. And fun to like compare, contrast with the original story if you teach the original story. Great book to have. And another one is this one, Duke Ellington's Nutcracker Suite. So if you know about Duke Ellington, how he took the music and redid it in his style, this tells that story So this is by Anna Harwell Salenza, illustrated by Dawn Tate. It gives history, it gives backstory. Again, really cool illustrations, cool. Just like the drawings are so cool. Anyway, so it goes through, it gives the story, talking about the Nutcracker. Everybody loves the Nutcracker. Isn't that Christmas music? Okay, but we can make it our own. And so again, this is super cool. This may be for an older grade, or maybe for kids in centers, maybe for kids who have already experienced the Nutcracker like the following year. You could bring this out and talk about different versions. And then you could play some of the music for them. Super cool book. That's Duke Ellington's Nutcracker Suite by Anna Harwell Salenza, illustrated by Dawn Tate. There are like a million other books that I could mention, but I'm not going to, because I could go the whole time just talking about those books. So there are more on my links page on Amazon if you're interested. That's linked. And I have a whole, again, Amazon. You don't have to buy from Amazon, but they make it really easy for you to share things. So, you can share links to your PTO or whatever. And also, I have a couple of master lists. One is all holiday books. So, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah are all sort of in one big book list. There's another one with Nutcracker resources. That's on Amazon. If you're interested, you can go there through the links page and find them. If you don't want to buy from Amazon, here are a couple of places you should go. There are a couple of discount book websites that I love. And 3 of them, it's like they go to every library fire sale or closeout book retailer or whatever, and they buy up extra stock and they sell them for super cheap online. So some of my favorite ones, betterworldbooks.com is one of my favorites because they have a free shipping with no minimums. Another one that's great out there is thriftbooks.com. It is the same as Better World Books, but I think you have to buy $35 worth of books to get free shipping. And with the prices they have, it's that's 7 books, which fine. But I like Better World Books. They have a great selection. But Better World Books, Thrift Books, another one is abebooks.com. And all 3 of those have for example, the book I showed you, where is it? Oh yeah, the Hanukkah Hop. It was a discard from the Siletz Library. Don't know where that is. It's in Oregon. Anyway, it's a discard from there. The website bought it up. I bought this book. I think it was $3.99. And you all know that children's books are expensive. If I bought this new, it'd probably be $17.99. Who knows? What's it actually say it costs? Oh, $12.99. Okay, fine. But it's still $3.99 is better. So anyway, those are some great discount book websites. There's another one called bookoutlet.com, and they go to small independent bookstores that are closing or overstock websites or things like that, and they buy brand new books. So their availability is more limited because they don't get as many things. But if you're looking for prime condition brand new books, that's a great place to go, bookoutlet.com. And there have been a couple times where I've ordered a book from them and it shows up and it is a book that is signed by the author that some independent bookstore had for sale, and they went out of business or they sold the overstock or whatever. And then I got a signed copy for $3.50. Anyway, super cool. Totally worth it. Or you can buy from Amazon. Sometimes the Amazon prices are just as good, or it's easier, or 2-day or whatever. But anyway, those are all those books that I already mentioned are listed on my Amazon page. If you want to go find them, or if you want the links or the ISBN, you want to go to your local library and get it, great. But all of that's linked there on the links page. And if it's not, send me a message, makemomentsmatter@gmail.com, and I'll send you the information. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about kindergarten through 2nd grade plans, things I'm doing right now for Thanksgiving, because the last couple weeks I've talked about orphan improvisation for 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade. And so I wanted to spend some time talking about the younger grades and some of the things I'm doing right now for Thanksgiving, which you could do this week or next week or after, I don't know. It's totally up to you. Okay, so my kindergartners right now, there are a couple lessons that they're doing. Oh, I should have grabbed my ukulele already. There are a couple lessons they're doing. Of course, my ukulele's hooked over back here. That are Thanksgiving themed. There's one that's not Thanksgiving themed. Many of you probably know the song Highway Number 1. I pull it out this time of year because it's about this point that my kindergartners are independent enough that I can start trusting them a little bit more. It's not until about Thanksgiving that I'm fairly certain that I won't have an accident in class. Like kindergartners just take a while to acclimate to school, and I feel like this year, especially if they've taken that time. So this is the time where I start like branching out a little bit. Highway Number 1 is a fun song from a group called Shenanigans. And the song goes like, I traveled round Australia on Highway Number 1. I traveled round Australia just to have some fun. And when I got to Brisbane, I stopped to see someone. And she said, and then like at each of these like major cities along Highway Number 1, which is like a highway that goes around the edge of Australia, basically, they stop, and a kid there in a kid voice says like, walk, walk and run, run, run. Walk, walk and run, run, run. Walk, walk and run, run, run. Walk, walk and run, run, run on Highway Number 1. So what I have the kids do is I show them like a map of Australia where Highway Number 1 is. It's just like sort of on the edge of the country. And so then I say, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to drive our cars around the edge of our room. I do this for a couple reasons. I want them to get moving. I want them to have fun with that. And the song is super fun. And they love the plan of like move, stop, listen to what the new kid says. Oh, jump, jump, jump and clap, or whatever the kid says. Hop, hop, hop and stop. Side, together, wiggle. Like they have some really fun prompts in there. But I also want them to then walk around the edge of the room, because I want kids are always like looking around trying to see things in the room. I want them to walk around intentionally, and I say to them like, as you're passing by the drums, take a good look. Don't touch, but take a look. And this is like where we're walking around exploring the room a little bit, getting more comfortable in the room. I feel like doing activities like this give them a sense of like, this is my room, like this is like my space. And so letting them go and explore and try little things and giving them a little, like a tiny little bit of autonomy as they're walking in the room is a great thing to do. So then when we come back, once we've come back to our space after we've done Highway Number 1 around the edge of the room, and that's just a few minutes long. If you don't know that song, you should check out Shenanigans. You might already have the CD in your school library or in your classroom closet or whatever. After we come back, we do a song that I learned many years ago. I feel like it's associated a lot with the Fire Robin books. Maybe it's in the Fire Robin books, but it's the No More Pie song. I love it because when I'm playing on the ukulele, I can play D minor. And it's really easy to just strum along, and the kids get to sing, and they get to echo me, and it's just a little bit different than what we've been doing before, which is like so much like major, so much so me, and this sounds a little bit different. So the song goes, oh my, and they go, oh my, no more pie, no more pie. If you know the song, it's a pretty fun song. When I teach it, I tell a story that like, I love Thanksgiving, but last Thanksgiving was not a good Thanksgiving because I went to my grandma's house. I always go over to my grandma's house for Thanksgiving. And my Aunt Michelle said, "Ooh, I'm so glad you're here because we have some pie." We just ate Thanksgiving dinner and had turkey and stuffing and corn and all the things. But now it's time for pie. And legitimately, I do have an aunt who's like really obsessed with pie. But this story is not true because she doesn't give you pie. She just eats the pie. Anyway, Aunt Val had like 10 pieces one Thanksgiving weekend. It was serious. Anyway, so in the story I tell kids, I say my Aunt Michelle, and she gave me a piece of pumpkin pie with whipped cream topping. Oh, it was so good. And then when she realized I had finished it, she said, "You need some more pie." And I said, "Oh, do I need some more pie?" She's like, "Oh yeah, of course you need more pie." And she went and got me a piece of apple pie. And she put a little ice cream on the side that's called a la mode. That was 2 pieces of pie. And I put a little tally mark on the board because I know they're sort of working on tallying, so we're counting up. And then after I was done with the apple pie, she came over and she said, "Oh, you're ready for more pie?" And I said, I don't know, maybe I need a little break. She goes, No. I have the perfect piece for you. And she brought out a piece of blueberry pie. It was so good. It was really sweet. It was delicious. It was a lot of sweet, though, because I just had 3 pieces of pie, so it was a lot of fun. And then she said, "Oh, are you done with your blueberry?" And I was like, just finishing. And I was like, yeah, but I don't think... And she said, "Great." So she brought me out some strawberry pie. how many pieces am I up to? And I'm, tallying along up to 4. Okay. So I work through it, get that whole story. There's at one point where she brings out 2 at once, coconut cream and chocolate cream. I work myself up to 10 pieces of pie. And once I've gotten through 10 pieces of pie, which they think is hilarious, then I go, and at that point my aunt said, oh, are you ready for another piece? And I said, oh my. And she went, oh my. And I said, no more pie. She said, no more pie. I said, are you copying me? She said, are you copying me? And then I say to students, can you do Aunt Michelle's part? Can you copy me? Oh my, no more pie, no more pie. I say, the pie's too sweet, pie's too sweet. I'd had too much sweet. I needed something different. And I said, I want a piece of meat. I want a piece of meat. They copy. But then Aunt Michelle brought me out a piece of meat, but it was not done. It was not cooked. I said, meat's too red. Meat's too red. So it needed to be cooked more. It just wasn't ready. And I said, oh, don't forget the meat. How about I want a piece of bread. I want a piece of bread. But then Aunt Michelle she took the bread and she went and took it to the toaster, but she left it in there too long. And it got so brown it was almost black. She burned it basically. And he went, bread's too brown. She said, bread's too brown. But we were out, so I figured I'd go get some more bread. I think I'll go to town. So I lead them through the whole story, but I don't just sing it, echo sing it. I do it as if it's a story, because I don't feel like it makes much sense if I don't try and put it in context of why. So making it this story of I had all this pie and then I want other things. Anyway, it goes through. And so we go to town, want to go to town, town's too far, have to take my car won't go, and then I get out, I'm so mad at the car that I kick the car, well I shouldn't have done that, because then I hurt my toe. Toe gives me pain, well I think I'll take a train. Well the train comes by, train had a wreck, and I go to see the train having a wreck, and then because I'm so old I hurt my neck and turning my head so that I hurt my neck. So I eventually wander back inside Grandma's house and I say, Aunt Michelle, I'm having this terrible day because I'm so full with pie and I want something different. I can't find anything different that works. And then I went out to get my car. A car didn't work, and then the train. And she said, oh, I'm so sorry. I know exactly what will make you feel better. And I say, what? Is it an ice pack? Oh no, it's not an ice pack. Is it Tylenol? No, it's not Tylenol. What do you have to make me feel better? She goes, I have a piece of Oreo pie. And I go, oh my, no more pie, no more pie. So I teach that story sort of as I teach that song sort of as a story back and forth. The kids really like it. The kids went back to their kindergarten classroom singing it, which is cool. I had a couple teachers who were like, did you do a song about dessert or something? Because it's all I've been hearing for the last day. I'm like, I'm so sorry for that. Anyway, but super fun book. And it's nice because it's a different tonality. And it's for kinder especially, that's new and exciting. And a tonality that's minor, but it's not sad. It's not like a scary song. It's just different. So it's fun to throw that in there. Then, in another day, we bring that song back. We then talk about pie. And, then we want to get into a little bit of exploration. So I'm going to try technology. We'll see how it works. It always works so well when I really want it to. So hold on Instagram. I'm going to turn you around here for just a second. Okay, so with my iPad, I'm able to take my iPad. Let me see if I can do this here. Hold on Instagram. We're going to make this work. I take my iPad and I have these vocal explorations. And this is something that I've used for a couple years. And you can do this a couple ways. So one of the things that I've done is this is now on my iPad. If you're watching on Facebook, you're seeing the mirror image of that. I can mirror it through my Apple TV in my school. Instagram, you're just seeing a straight down image of that. But I have this on my iPad. Now, I've also done this on a smart board. I've done it on a projector on the screen. But what I love about my iPad is when I go through, if you go to the assist features, if you go to I think it's handicap, accessibility things. One of the cool things you can get is this little, it's like a mobile circle for like your home screen. You can program it to different things. But what I love about it is that I can use it as sort of like a cursor on the front of the iPad. So when we're doing these vocal explorations, I can actually move my finger on my iPad, and for kids, they can see the dot moving around, which is super cool. So kids are seeing that up on the screen. So basically we just go through like any vocal exploration would, and we do, like, ooh, we match our voices to what they're seeing on the screen. Now for my kids, this is like the first time they've done this. So I always try and point things out. Like the first one we just do as is. The next one I go, oh, wow, okay, well the raccoon is not going very far. He's not that far off the ground. But then the next one, ooh, these are big jumps. We've got to go up and over trees. So that's a pretty big jump, right? That's a change. And so we gotta change how we do it. So our voice is going to have to go even higher, right? So then, this one we go, woo, woo, woo. Oh, wait, okay, hold on. This first tree goes up and over and then back down, up and over and then back down. This last one just goes up and it stops. Like maybe if we went we went even further past the tree, it would come back down. I don't know, but that's not on the screen. So when we do it, we have to go like, woo, woo, woo. Because inevitably kids will come back down on the end. So I start pointing out stuff like that. The next one, the squirrel. So again, it's like low. And once we get that basic contour, then I have them do it. I say, well, yeah, but a squirrel's not going to go that speed. A squirrel's going to go faster. So, no, sorry, squirrel's going to go faster than that. Okay, try again. Yeah, not fast enough. Got to go a little faster. Yeah, great. Okay. This one's another fun one where they're coming down from the apples. And this is when I start to say, hold on, those apples, are they high? The ones over here on the left, are they high? Are they in the middle? Are they down low? Where are they? And they say, oh, they're high. Great. In the basket they're going to, is that high or in the middle or sort of low? Oh, it's sort of low. Okay, well, then we're going to have to go along this path, and we're going to start with our voice up high, and then it's going to end up down low. So we have to follow that path, but we're going to end up sort of high to low. We could even go back to the squirrel and say he starts low and he ends high. So, we're doing the explorations, but then I start to prep them with like, okay, where we start, is that high or is that medium? Is that low? Where we end, is a high, medium, low. So I'm starting to get them to look for those patterns as we go. Another thing I'll do is I'll say, we'll do an exploration like this, and then I'll say, hold on, do you see sort of a pattern? I think I see a pattern where it goes down, it does a little swoop, a big swoosh, a little swoop, and then what would come next? If we did swoop, swoosh, swoop, what would come next? A swoosh, right? Like we'd have a big swoosh. Yeah, if we're going to do it, if the pattern went on, if the line went on, we'd probably have a big swoosh. So as we're doing these vocal explorations, we're also identifying patterns, we're identifying commonalities, things like that. Help Tyrell make a study of the table, same thing as we go. And then it ends with a little boy who wants a piece of pie. And I go, oh my, no more pie, This is the one that's Thanksgiving themed. I have a bunch of these for all different things, Christmas and dinosaurs and outer space and whatever. But this is the one that's Thanksgiving, so it sort of fits right in. At the end of this first day, then I have blank slides. And one of the things that I can do that's cool on my iPad is I can take my little pen and then I can actually draw in a path for us to take. So maybe I go like, right, and we try it. And I say, oh, that's too easy. Okay, that's too easy. Maybe then we do maybe she does big jumps. I don't know. So you can do all sorts of stuff. And then, so maybe we go to, whoops, came back. Maybe it goes to the next one and you try again. You can go up and over, right? There are all sorts of things you can do here. Hello. Okay, so that's the cool thing about this, and that you can draw and you can do that sort of stuff. The next lesson, let me turn off my iPad and turn y'all back around and sort of show you what I do next. Someone on Instagram said, do you make your own vocal explorations? Yes, and they are on Teachers Pay Teachers. They're like $1 or $2 or something if you're interested. Or actually, I think I have the whole bundle for not a lot of money, but they're 12 or 13 in there. You can use them all throughout the year for different stuff. Okay, let me go back to the main view. So like the first day we do vocal explorations, we do it like that. The second time when we go back, I say, great, but now we have to have our body to match. So when we're doing our vocal exploration, when you're doing that raccoon one, where it's like, woo, 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 then you're going to have to get your body down low and go, woo, woo, woo. When you do the squirrel, it's going to woo, woo, woo. And how can you have your body match that pattern? How can it look sort of like that pattern? You know, the woo, you know, or, you know, you can do where your body matches when they hop, they jump up and over. Oh, they love that. So they're doing vocal exploration. They're also moving and getting a little bit of movement. You could also do it where you have them just trace through the air with their finger. That's really helpful too. But any sort of mix of those things is great to be able to do. And then there's a book, and I shared about this on a previous week, but it's called 10 Fat Turkeys. It's by Tony Johnston, illustrated by Rich Dees. And this is another fun one where if they did 5 little pumpkins sitting on a gate, the first one said, oh my, it's, you know, if you did that one for Halloween, this is a fun sort of like similar feel of the story. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble, do a noodle dance. 10 fat turkeys fooling on a fence. Lucky, says a silly turkey, swinging from a vine. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble, whoops, now there are 9. Lucky, squawks a goofy turkey, trying to roller skate. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble, oops, now there are 8. And kids at this point will probably be repeating the things that come back over and over. They pull that out. They know that's coming. So the things that they're probably going to say are the gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble, oops. And they're the number. Oops, now there are 7 or whatever. So like this one. Looky, says a foofy turkey, flapping to blue heaven. Gobble, gobble, wibble, wobble. Oops, now there are 7. So like there's a lot of really cool things about this. It does connect in with like 5 fat turkeys, or it's been a long day. 5 little pumpkins sitting on a gate, right? Like it connects sort of the story of like some thematic thing on a gate or on a fence. But also it's like predictive. They start to understand what's coming next. You could pull out, you know, this could be a link to a song about gobbling or whatever, any turkey song you want. Don't worry, the turkeys like they don't die or anything when they fall off the fence. But they have the crash, and then the fence comes down, and then they all get up in a tree, which is a great segue if you're doing 5 Fat Turkeys Are We, which I'll talk about in first grade. So this is a book that you could connect with either kindergarten or first grade, depending on what you want. 10 Fat Turkeys. That's by Tony Johnston, illustrated by Rich Dees. It's a scholastic book, so you're probably going to find like a bajillion of them, maybe already in your classroom library. Someone said, what software are you using on your iPad with the vocal explorations? It was just opened in files. So like Preview or Files or something on your iPad. I'm not using like a PDF reader or anything. It's just like Photo Viewer or whatever that is. And then I have a it's not even a pencil. It's like a Logitech like pen that sort of it connects up with your iPad, and that's what I use to draw on them. But nothing fancy. If you have an iPad, you should be able to open a PDF like this one just in your files, I think. I hope I'm not leading you astray. That's actually true. Okay, let's talk about first grade. So one book that I love, and I used this last year for 3rd grade, but I'm using it now this year for first grade. It's called Run, Turkey, Run. It's by Diane Mayer, illustrations by Laura Rader. I'll just read a couple pages. Turkey is having a terrible day. It's the day before Thanksgiving. But Turkey won't be giving thanks. Not unless he manages to escape. And you can see there all the family is preparing things. The little girl is making like a crust for a pie, I'm going to assume, because there's a little empty pie pan there. And this woman is cutting up carrots or something for, I don't know. There are potatoes here too, and some sort of, I'm not sure what exactly she's making, unimportant. Little boy here is carrying something green. Peas, lettuce, don't know. Not important to the story. But what is important is the farmer's over here, and he's next to an empty turkey roasting pan. And the turkey's looking in the window like, or whatever the turkey would say. And it goes, run, turkey, run. Clompity clomp, here comes the farmer. So again, first grade, a couple weeks ago, we did Little Old Lady Who Was Not Afraid of Anything. And we made the comparison of what's making the shoes go clomp, clomp. Well, they're not actually saying clomp, clomp, say the shoes. Like, that's not actually what's happening. The sound of the shoe hitting the ground goes clomp. And anytime I have this opportunity, I mention it to kids. Like, when you're putting something in a book, you don't, if you have to take a sound, how do you write that? So if you go, most people write S-I-G-H, sigh. They don't write like H-U-H-H-H-H-H-H-H for, right? Like, there are words like that. So clomp is like the sound of shoes. And that we mention in Little Old Lady Who's Not Afraid of Anything, and it comes back here. So on each page, the farmer's chasing the turkey, and on this page it goes clompity clomp, here comes the farmer. Well, then the turkey goes and hides. Oh, see the pig pen? If turkey rolls in the mud, will the farmer think he's a pig? Good thinking on the turkey's part. It's actually pretty smart, because the turkey went to a place where turkeys don't normally go, right? The pig pen, and is doing things that a pig would do. Rolling around in the mud. I don't think turkeys do that. Maybe he's oinking. I don't know. Again, oink. That's not really the sound they make, but it's like the word we write. Right? Okay. Anyway, will the farmer think he's a pig? No. Run, turkey, run. Muckety muck. Here comes the farmer. Wait, hold on, first grade. I thought we said it was clompity clomp. Why is it muckety muck now? And so then we talk about like, oh, well, it's muck now because he's running through mud, and that would make a different sound. Right. Okay, so that's on each page. The next one is splashity splash because he goes through the pond. So, but I like to point that out to kids because, again, it's like an element of like reading comprehension of like, you don't write out like, like SSSPLS or whatever for a splashing sound. You write like splashity splash. That would make more sense. Also, then we can talk about the rhythmic elements. You could like muckety muck. Here comes the farmer. Splashity splash. You could do that if you wanted. I actually wrote a little poem when I did this with third grade, and the poem was like, run, turkey, run. Run, turkey, run. Here comes the farmer. Run, run, run. And then we took that and added it in body percussion. Run, turkey, run. Run, turkey, run. Here comes the farmer. Run, run, run. Or whatever. You could add it on a non-pitched instrument. That was for an older grade, but totally something that you could add in very easy. You can even do it with first grade if you want. We say the poem, we just don't do it in body percussion. So the turkey tries to be a duck. The turkey tries to look like a horse. Doesn't work. Eventually, the turkey ends up in the forest. He hides in trees. The farmer can't find him. Turkey gives thanks. And then Thanksgiving Day goes, and the farmer goes and looks for a Christmas tree, and lo and behold, he finds the turkey. So it's a super cute little book. I love using this book and talking about some of those elements in there, and then it leads to the song Shoo Turkey. So with this song, we learn like shoo, shoo, shoo turkey, throw your feathers way yonder. Shoo, shoo, shoo turkey, throw your feathers way yonder. And we talk about how the turkey in this book tried to confuse the farmer, right? Tried to look like other animals. Well, if the turkey were very smart, or if we were helping the turkey, we could say, okay, turkey, here's what we're going to do. Take a couple feathers. Because a turkey can lose a couple feathers, it's not going to hurt, it's fine. It's fine. Just like if you're petting a dog or a cat and like the dog or cat gets off your lap and they leave like, oh no, there's like fur everywhere, right? It doesn't hurt them to lose fur. It doesn't hurt the turkey to lose a couple feathers. So if the turkey takes its feathers and goes and puts them over there, like leaves some tracks, and then secretly goes the other way, then the farmer, the chef, is going to look for the turkey over yonder, which means like over there. And the turkey will actually be safe on the other side of the forest or whatever, wherever the turkey is. So like I pull that in to like tie it in with the book sort of, even though they're not necessarily tied together. So the song goes shoo, shoo, shoo turkey, throw your feathers way yonder. Shoo, shoo, shoo turkey, throw your feathers way yonder. There's another little part of the song. I leave that out. Then I say, well, if we're gonna if the farmer's not gonna get turkey to eat, we got to give them something to eat. So let's go to the grocery store. I say, well, all my friends, yes, sir. Did you go to the store? Yes, sir. Did you get all the groceries? Yes, sir. And whatever I sing, they get to respond with yes, sir. that's the traditional part of the shoe turkey. That's the traditional like verse part where you could say like, did you get sweet potatoes? Yes, sir. Did you get green beans? Yes, sir. You could go through just Thanksgiving foods and have them say yes, sir, or yes, ma'am, or yes, mix, or whatever you want them to say. You could have them do that if you want. Or what I do is I make it a game. And I say, I'm going to say some ingredients, and you have to try and figure out what we're making. Did you go to the store? Yes, sir. Did you get all the groceries? Did you buy some flour? Yes, sir. Did you buy some sugar? Yes, sir. Did you get some vanilla? Yes, sir. Did you get some eggs? Yes. Did you get some chocolate chips? Did you get a baking pan? I try and like lead them to really simple things. So like chocolate chip cookies is one of the more difficult ones. Another one that I'll do is like spaghetti with meat sauce, or another really easy one is salad. So you start building like tomatoes, cucumber, carrots, lettuce, croutons, dressing. By that point, they know it's a salad. But I do that, and then we intersperse. So we do shoe turkey. It's like an A section, and then B is I'll sing. They get to respond with yes, sir. And we like do a list of the foods that you might need to make lasagna or whatever. That was another really tricky one, lasagna. It's hard for them to figure that out. I always feel like, oh, I'm really going to trick them. I'm going to say like tabbouleh or whatever. Like, but kids don't know how that's made. I don't even know how it's made. So, so I try and like think of things that are really simple for kids to be able to make. So like spaghetti, pizza. When I say, I'm going to give you a really tricky one. Did you go to the store? Yes, sir. Did you get all the groceries? Yes, sir. Did you buy the Jell-O? Yes, sir. Do you know what we're making? Jell-O. It's like, I don't know. Because all you need is just Jell-O, and if you're getting the cup version anyway. Maybe whipped cream. I don't know if you're making Jell-O at home. I don't know if you need like Jell-O and like sugar and water. Isn't that it? I don't know. I haven't made it for years. Anyway, so that's a fun thing you can do that ties in really well with this book. And it's a super fun thing. And then there's a fun little dance when they sing shoe, turkey. So I have them start like going shoe, turkey. And then I say, oh, but you got to get down close to the turkey if you're going to shoe the turkey. So they got to crouch and they go shoe, turkey. And I say, well, the turkey's not moving. So you got to get a little hop in there. So shoe, turkey. And it looks absolutely ridiculous. And they all laugh. And it's so much fun. And so that's totally something you should add in. And I can't believe I just did like a little crouch hop in front of my computer at home in my home office. Okay, so if you're listening to the podcast, you missed out on some really fun stuff there. Anyway, so we do that, and then we do, there's a version of 5 Fat Turkeys. So if you know that song, 5 fat turkeys are we slept all night in a tree. When the cook came around, we couldn't be found, and that's why we're here, you see. So it's a fun little song. When I first started teaching it, my first year of teaching, 11 years ago, I was like, wow, what a great song. And then I was in the middle of the lesson, again, first year teacher, and I was like, oh, this song lasts 20 seconds. What am I going to do for the 5-minute block that I had it planned for? We're not going to just sing it 17 times. So I added a silly little B section where I go hide, try to hide. Do not let him catch us. Hide, try to hide. Do not let him catch us. So it's just a ridiculous little B section I added for that song. So you'd sing, and then the turkeys would say it to each other. And then as the years went by, I was like, I can build this out even more. So I got these little turkey cutouts. They're just felt. I got them at Target my first year of teaching. I've had them for forever. You can see because they've been used. They're worn down. Anyway, this poor little guy has a hole. He's been handled by too many first graders. Anyway, so I have 5 kids go out and they pretend to be a tree and they get a whole little turkey, right? And then when the cook came around, we couldn't be found. One little kid gets to walk around looking for the turkeys on the ground, not looking in the tree, because why would you look in a tree for farm turkeys? Anyway, and at the end of the B section, the hide, try to hide. That thing that I'd already been teaching, I was like, what can I do to make this even more exciting and dramatic? And then I go, I know. One kid go to the lights, and one kid gets this thunder tube, right? And so I say, ooh, the turkeys were safe up in the trees, except it was a very windy night. The kids are like, I go, and it was raining, and we're patting, and then there was thunder. and there was lightning, and the kid like flashes the light, and then oh no, and I go over to one kid who's holding like a little turkey cut out in their hand. They're like there in the branches. I grab the turkey and I drop it and I go, oh no, and the chef runs over and goes, aha, a turkey for my turkey dinner. And now there aren't 5 fat turkeys. There are how many fat turkeys? 4 fat turkeys are we? And we start over now with 4, and then we go to 3 to 2 to 1. And each time I rotate, so some new kid gets to flash a light, new kid gets to play the thunder tube. So then like we can rotate kids through. It's just it's again taking that song that's like 20 seconds long and sort of building it out, making it even more exciting and longer and more of a fleshed out lesson. Maybe it's just maniacal David being like, I want to have a turkey fall out of a tree so I can use my slide whistle and so I can use my, I don't know, accent. Aha! Turkey for my turkey dinner. Anyway. Oh, and also then once we collect the turkeys, we put them in this huge cauldron because I still had it out from Thanksgiving. So I was like, I don't know, we're making turkey soup. Anyway, it's a lesson that like you can build and you can add more and you can do fun stuff with it. And then sort of a countdown lesson. You can rotate through, try different instruments. You can make water sounds. Super fun. Okay. Ooh, I got through almost everything. The other thing I'm going to say is that I had another substitute teacher crisis where I had to be writing plans because I'm going to Nebraska tomorrow to present at Nebraska Music Educators. And it's like rats because I have this weird schedule where some classes in my school have never had a music sub this whole year, and some have had one like 4 times. It's bizarre the way our schedule works. Anyway, for my older grades, I was like, oh my gosh, I got all these interactive games. Why don't I just pull them out? Because all my kids have iPads, so they can bring them to music. So I've got like a whole slew because of all these Thanksgiving games. I've got the one that's like fill the table, so like Thanksgiving foods. Yep. I've got one that's like instrument sort, Thanksgiving themed instrument sort. All I have to do is like scan the QR. One that helps them identify symbols and vocabulary. One that helps them identify instrument families. I was like, yes. Instrument games, interactive games, because I wanted them to all, like have something, but then like, I want it to be Thanksgiving themed. So anyway, I've got all these great games that are like sort of saving me. There's one game that's, I'll try and talk about it next week. But I know I've talked about it in the past, the Grandma's Table Thanksgiving food game, where it's like Thanksgiving foods and you help Grandma get them to the table by choosing the rhythm that matches the food. I'll try and talk about that next week because I know I'm out of time now. But interactive games, hooray! I can put those in the sub-tub and kids will play those endlessly. And along the way, they're also learning music content, but like, hooray! They love the process because they think it's a game. It's not. It's an interactive iPad-themed worksheet, basically, of matching and mixing. And anyway, surprise, kids! You're having an assessment. Ha ha! Anyway, okay, I hope this gives you some ideas for kindergarten through second. I hope this gives you some ideas for holiday books. Like I said, if it's not on the links page, it's probably on the links page. If it's not on the links page, shoot me a message. I'd be happy to get some of those things to you. I hope to see many of you in Nebraska tomorrow night and Wednesday and Thursday for Nebraska Music Educators. If not, I hope that everyone will join me on the internet on December 6th for a live workshop through Music Construct Ed, and that is on December 6th. You can find details about that on the links page and on my website. All right. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining me tonight. It's been so great to have you. I'll see you all next week. Bye, everyone.